because we're going to unpause this game. Hello and welcome to another Warcraft the audio commentary. Today we are coming live. Well, it's not live again, but well, it is live. It's on twitch.tv/pureby, and we're streaming this. And these are replays. People always ask. These are replays, cast room replays. The tournament is iFeng Cup, and we are going to be watching a best of 3 between 2 players. Let's introduce them really quickly. Let's just do it. The map is Echo Isles on the lower left side of the map, or the lower right side of the map, rather. We happen to have our gray undead spawning in. You know who it is. Give it up for Lucifer! Okay, that was totally mistimed, but don't worry about it. Professional face. And the upper left, we happen to have the yellow orc spawning in. Who is it? None other than 120, Mr. Lovable, the name that he's playing on, but you may know him as 120. Anyway, before we get into this, I have to say, absolutely. I got the new compressor, the tube preamp compressor thing, the opto pre. I don't look. We could draw all those terms out. I don't necessarily know what all those terms mean. I know what they mean, but it's a solid state preamp with a tube. It's a 120x7A, I think, tube on it, which is, you know, again, they call it the starved plate design, which is not particularly great or anything in terms of super professional quality. I think it sounds really good. I think it sounds a bit better without the tube characteristics, but whatever. You're not like, none of you are interested in this probably, but I think it's really cool. So we'll talk about the game, but I could talk all day about that, like all day. So just ask me and I'll talk about it all day. I don't care. But anyway, the whole end result is that it shouldn't clip really badly. So if you hear any clipping, let me know, because you shouldn't be hearing any clipping. I tested it extensively today, and I think we've got pretty good settings for it now. Maybe we'll see something better in the future, but for now, that's how it should sound. Hopefully it's good. Anyway, Lucifer has gone Dreadlord first with a ghoul build. As you can see, he's got 3 ziggurats down. That's the 3rd ziggurat. Partially getting that next ziggurat a little bit early. He could have waited on getting that in terms of food supplies. You can see he's at 18 out of 30, but he did it because he doesn't want that Blade Master coming in there and just killing stuff, which of course, you know, it's a good assumption that he has gone with the Blade Master, and he has, and he's creeping with that. Gun already picked up Mental of Intelligence level 3, and something that's fairly common on this map is to not see the super aggressive undead or super aggressive orc plays recently. It's something, it depends on player style, and I think it's better to go to level 3 on this map personally. But different players will do different things, and it looks like he's going to go for level 3. He may go for level 2. There's literally a lot of, I mean, as an orc player, you have a lot of choices here. It's not like going, I will say this, I think it's a really bad play, in my opinion, if you go as an orc and you creep to level 2. I think that there's no real need to creep to level 2 if you're going to go for the harass, except with some very certain exceptions on certain maps. For the most part, I think if you're going to go the creeping route, more than, you know, just one quick item which you can get and then go and harass your opponent, just fine with like doing that. But I think normally you should just go for the straight level 3 creep if you're going to go for the creeping route. But I've seen people do creep level 2 and then take that, and I think that you're not really, because by the time you can get to the undead at that point, he's going to be so close to level 3. Your chances are you're not going to be able to stop him, and he's going to have like 4 fiends out if he wants it, so it's really unlikely. Anyway, so this is a Blade Master playing it very, very close edge. I'm not sure why he's playing it so close to the edge right here. If a Death Knight did, you know, if there were Ted Fiend's build, he would have just killed, the Blade Master would have just died to a coil. I will say this though, the timing would have been really odd for the Blade Master to hit, or the Death Knight to hit there instead of over here. So I guess in some sense he is playing that safe because of the fact, I don't know if he scouted this build or not, but he is kind of playing it safe because he kind of can guess that it's not a Ted Fiend's build or any kind of super harassy build. But the Dreadlord down here, he's creeping out the shop. He's just a little bit further behind in terms of XP. Yeah, you can notice there's not level 3 on this guy just yet, but he will pick that up from this creep camp right here, and Lucifer will also pick it up from this one as well. So nice to see it. I'm going to see a ghoul running back right now. The Blade Master has now scattered out and said, what's going on? Oh, look at this. It's something crazy. We're seeing this. He's trying to build a graveyard right here. It looks like ghouls have blocked him. Oh, no. Sometimes that'll happen. The Acolytes, they'll just give up on getting the building down and they'll go back. If you do a shift-click rally on them. Are we going to see the sleep? We do see the sleep, but he still gets the experience still for 5 XP off. That's a shame. And now he's just going to try to go ahead and right-click this guy. He's not too worried about taking damage on the Dreadlord because he does have a replenishment potion, 200 hit points, 75 mana over 30 seconds. That's okay. He's going to go ahead and pop that after sleeping it. It's going to give him plenty of time to run away and heal up fairly decently, but he is going to be in a bad spot here because he doesn't have a dust. So he's going to have that replenishment potion canceled. That's a big shame. Another Windwalk out. He might lose the Dreadlord here. It seems really likely at this point. He needs to get a dust right now. Not fast enough. A dust would have allowed him to slow the Blade Master down with the Nubian and kind of ran away from that. Yeah, he probably took too much damage on that. He probably shouldn't have taken that fight. Probably shouldn't have popped that replenishment potion just where he did either. Probably should have picked up a dust down here. Although these are all things that you know, he maybe, I don't know if he already bought a dust from here instead of from his shop, which he may have done. Then that dust would have been on cooldown. But these are things that can happen. And playing Dreadlord first there's a reason it's not very popular, because versus Orc, in the early game you are really just not strong enough to fight at all. And now he's just going to be a real big D-bag and just steal all of the XP that he can on this side of the map. Lucifer, though, says, you know what? I still got ghouls. I don't think Lucifer has any right to be fighting this whatsoever, because this Blade Master can still just kill all this stuff. But he's kind of let that so that the creeps have killed a ghoul. Now another ghoul's died. Another ghoul's about to die to the Blade Master. Maybe not. No. Nope, it's going to go down to the creeps. That's a lot of gold. Lucifer just lost basically 2 grunts worth of gold, and he's lost his hero already. And the Blade Master's almost level 4, so things aren't going well. He's going to lose another ghoul right here, maybe. Maybe not. If he blocks, he didn't get the block properly. That's a shame. But he's going to lose another ghoul. No! Lucifer, no! This is not going well at all for Lucifer. And the Dreadlord is not even level 3 yet. The Blade Master, again, so daggone close to level 4. What is going on here? I don't know, but Lucifer will pick up level 3 here at least. The one thing that really sucks when you're not level 3 on your Dreadlord is you only have level 2 sleep, or level 1 sleep, and level 1 sleep is 100 mana. Very expensive. When sleep gets to level 2, I think it's 75, and then when it's level 3, it's 50, so that's extremely important for the Dreadlord who has, like, very little mana. It looks like he definitely, I would have been surprised if he didn't go for level 2 sleep, because it's just so much better than level 1, just for the mana cost alone. And creep it away. Just creep it on up. Nothing real big deal here. We do have the Dark Ranger out. Now, this is not the first time. Some of you, I'm going to assume, I haven't mentioned this, have already seen the strategy from Lucifer before, the Dreadlord and Dark Ranger, where you kind of do the sleep silence thing and you go for this round and you just kind of go for the kill on the Blade Master or the Shadow Hunter. It's basically just a hero focusing thing. It's really cool. It's a really good strategy. Lucifer has had a good amount of success with it in the past. Doesn't win every time he goes with it, obviously. Otherwise, it would be standard meta by now, but he does pull it out now and then, and I don't think it's a big deal. What am I saying? It's not big. I don't think it's a big deal that he's behind right now. You know, I think this is a strategy that's kind of resilient a little bit. He's lost, like I said, he did lose gold. He lost gold, but ghouls are cheap. And you know, when you have ghouls at the base of your army, one of the nice things about it is that you can tend to lose more units than you can with a Fiend build. A Fiend build falls apart very quickly if you lose a bunch of Fiends. Losing a bunch of ghouls, it's not good. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's a little bit more resilient. Not to the point where this was not a good opening for Lucifer, and he's definitely behind. But you know what's going to happen is there's going to be a Wind Rider coming in here to do some Acolyte harass. Are there any Gargs, or are we going to see some Fiends? Normally, what you see whenever you go Ghoul build versus Orc, and this is with Death Knight first. I don't know exactly how Lucifer's going to handle these worms or these Wind Riders. It looks like maybe Gargoyles. He queued up a Gargoyle and he then canceled it. I'm not sure why he canceled it. But I think Gargs are a fine choice versus Wind Riders. I know, obviously, one of the big things you have to consider yourself, or concern yourself with going Bat Riders, or going Gargoyles, is that your opponent can go Bat Riders, and Bat Riders are really good against Gargs. But the one thing is if you get Stone Form, which is tier 3, you have to have Black Citadel, which he does. So he can have Ghoul Frenzy, which he's getting, and also you can have Stone Form for your Gargoyles. Is you can Stone Form your bats and micro really well. It's really hard, but you can micro really well, and you can actually deal with bats and Wind Riders with Gargs. But it's not an easy thing to do. But normally, the normal thing you do when you have Death Knight is you actually go for like 3 or 4 Fiends and a bunch of Ghouls, and then Ghouls absolutely wreck Wind Riders when they're on the ground. Like, they just destroy them. But that's... That being said, because they do normal damage, and if you look at the armor type, they have light, so they take extra damage from... What? They don't take extra damage from normal? I'm really confused. I thought they did. Okay, I'm wrong. I thought that for a long time. I thought that they had extra damage from normal, but Everyone's wrong sometimes, and I'm clearly wrong about that. That being said, still ghouls do destroy them, regardless of whether they do extra damage or not. If you web one and you have like 4 ghouls on it, that Wind Rider will die very quickly. Anyway. What we will see is he's going double crypt, so it looks like he's wanting to probably go Gargs to deal with this. He does have the ability, of course, to buy the orb on the Dreadlord. You have the Dark Ranger can attack air, so there are things there where he deals with it. He's got a Spirit Tower up. The one problem with this Spirit Tower and this Nubian Tower is that it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with a bunch of Wind Riders trying to harass Acolytes, and that one, even if he's just one, there's a Goblin Sapper here as well. That's going to be a problem. That can easily take out both this Spirit Tower and the Ziggurat in one go, as long as it hits right there in the middle, which is unfortunate. That's one of the problems with this particular build here, is that you can't have one space between those Ziggurats, because you want to have at least one space between each one of those Ziggurats, because one Sappers are so close to your base right off the bat, and it's almost guaranteed that they're going to come in here. But that you're supposed to like use the Blade Master to tank that, but the towers, but he didn't. So the Sapper just kind of died. I don't know what that was all about. I think I'm not even gonna wager a guess there. But anyway, so let's see. Wind Rider, one Wind Rider. It's very low on life. Looks like it took some damage. Tauren Chieftain as the 3rd hero choice for 120 Mr. Lovable, aka and Wind Riders. Normally 4 Wind Riders is what you see from this, and then you see like a normal kind of ground army. I don't know what we're going to see from him. With the 3 heroes, obviously your army composition is a little bit different, because that's 15 supply right there tied up, and then of course you got 5 more here for your peons, and then you got another 5 to 6 for your wood guys, usually 7, I think. So it kind of changes the landscape, and the reason you don't normally go mass Wind Riders is because mass Wind Riders is usually not that good. It's okay, and we might see that because he's gone double bestiary, but it's not that good. Because the problem is just like any air versus... Well, actually, I'll tell you what, the reason you don't normally do this is because there's a Lich, and we don't have a Lich out on the field right now, so maybe it's not so bad. And the reason is because Lich can just kind of do the Nova, and then you coil and you kite, and without those nukes to really kind of punish the Wind Riders, maybe we will see mass Wind Riders, who knows? Because that's actually a really clever response. He does have the Orb of Lightning on the Blade Master. At this point, we will see a bit of a fight engaging here. We have a couple of these Gargs out. There is currently no Bat Riders on the field, so the Gargs should just destroy these Wind Riders right now, because they just do a ton of damage. They do almost like 61 to 70 damage a hit, so that's really good. We already have the Silence out. We're going to see a Sleep now on the Blade Master. We did have a Potion of Lesser Endurance to get popped on the Shadow Hunter, just so he could get out of that silence and go ahead and cast the Healing Wave. All those Wind Riders currently are dead, and the Tauren Chieftain is going to go down as well, level 3, in fact, being picked up by the Dark Ranger. A Sleep on the Blade Master, a Silence on the Shadow Hunter. Surprised he's not even going for the Shadow Hunter kill right now, because if he just slept out one time, then he could surround it and kill it very easily. The problem, of course, is going to be that he's really just using all of those sleeps, all of that mana right now on that Blade Master to keep him out of the fight. And there's nothing that can actually wake the Blade Master up, because nothing can get close enough to wake him up. And there's the sleep surround on the Shadow Hunter. Now, unfortunately for him, the Blade Master just came out of sleep, so he was able to go in there with the Wind Walk and pop the Shadow Hunter out. But look how much damage already done to this hero. And Lucifer is just destroying this fight. It's not even close at this point. You can see another one of these going on right now. And another thing that's nice, though, is even though the Blade Master is doing that, he's spending more time trying to, keep his units alive than he is attacking. And if he's not just wrecking you, then look at that. You just kind of get wrecked. I mean, that was just complete domination in that fight. Look, Lucifer lost almost nothing. He just absolutely wrecked it. All those Wind Riders, they just got completely hard countered by the Gargoyles, and then there was no hero help. There was one stomp, I think, that went off before the Tauren Chieftain died. But look at that, wow. Even though Lucifer had a terrible, terrible start, I mean, just probably one of the worst starts you could have, that fight didn't go well at all. So I'm going to go back to saying Wind Riders are not really good, even in that situation. I mean, there may be situations where they are good. I think it's difficult to micro against mass Wind Riders if you're going like the traditional Fiend build with Death Knight and Lich. But I still think that that has the advantage versus the Wind Riders in most situations. But in that one, that was not even close. Yeah, so that's just... That was, but that was game number 1, and this was for iFeng Cup Replay Cast. We're going to go ahead and go into game number 2, so stay tuned. We're going to take a quick little 2-minute break, something like that, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next game.